Yesterday at City Hall, Mayor Walsh joined legal service groups to announce a new effort to help immigrants. Thanks to a funding collaborative, a public-private partnership will provide immigrants and refugees more help with education and legal services.
For low-income immigrants who are unable to obtain legal representation, they are losing their right and their ability to seek remedies and relief that could be afforded to them. With this fund, attorneys and community-based organizations will partner up, and they will provide representation to some of our most vulnerable indigent, low-income immigrants in Greater Boston.
And the fund will allow us to build a powerful and agile network to be able to respond to the ongoing threats and rights and safety of the immigrants and refugees in our home.
Being a partner in the Immigrant Defense Fund is not only consistent with the reason why IMLAC was created, but it also advances our vision that IMLAC will work with all participants in the civil legal aid system to move forward together with particular emphasis on addressing economic inequality, institutional racism, implicit bias, and other causes of poverty.
This program is privately funded. It will make lawyers available to people who have in proceedings at the Boston Immigration Court. It will support education efforts in the Greater Boston area. It will help us make sure that our neighbors don't have to go through the disruption, the pain, and the trauma of being deported unjustly.
To tell us more about the initiative is our guest from the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Advancement, the Policy and Communications Advisor, An Lee. Thank you very much for being with us, An.
Thank you for having me.
I think a lot of our viewers know that this is happening right around the time of all this uncertainty about the Dreamers and in DACA, but talk about the range of people you're trying to help, because I'm sure it's broader than that.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I think our office's work in the Mayor's Office for Immigrant Advancement has been to help promote the well-being and advancement of all immigrants who live in our city. And we realize that this is much more of a regional issue. And so you have all sorts of folks in various stages of immigration status or stages of applying for immigration status who need additional help. And oftentimes the barrier is cost of affording a lawyer.
What's the difference between having a lawyer in immigration court and trying to just do it on your own?
Sure. So when we're talking about immigration court where people are facing deportation, the Boston Immigration Court numbers between 2010 and 2015 show that 68% of people who had a lawyer were able to win their case, were able to get relief from deportation. But only 15% of the people without a lawyer were able to win their case. And the numbers are even more staggering when we're talking about people who are detained. Only about 4% of the people who did not have a lawyer in immigration court were able to win their cases in those situations.
I know a lot of the time we hear immigration portrayed in these black and white terms. Either it's legal or it's illegal, but talk about some of the gray areas that might come into play.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, the sorts of people we're talking about who can win these cases are exactly in these gray areas where there are legal avenues for relief. There are legal ways of winning their cases, but it's so complex and it's so case specific that without an experienced immigration attorney, their chances are very difficult. So yesterday at the press conference, an immigration attorney at Mass Law Reform Institute, Emily Lung, told the story of somebody who came to her who was in the process of obtaining her green card through marriage and had a U.S. citizen spouse and a U.S. citizen child already with that spouse. But the relationship soured and became abusive, and they separated. And then this person was very concerned about whether they'd be deported or not as a result of the relationship ending. Well, sure enough, there is a legal avenue under the Violence Against Women's Act that allows this person to apply for a green card for themselves, but that would be incredibly difficult to navigate without the help of a lawyer.
This is BNN News, and we're talking with An Lee from the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Advancement. And what about the kind of help that's going to be offered here? I mean, it would be great if everybody had a lawyer whenever that was needed, but
Sure.
there will be some other things I imagine you're going to be doing.
Yes, absolutely. So right now, we're in the request for proposals mode, right? Yesterday's announcement was that we're looking for proposals, and by we, I mean the partnership with the Massachusetts Legal Assistance Corporation and the Massachusetts Law Reform Institute. We're looking for proposals for grants, right? And once that'll be awarded, we're going to be prioritizing people who are under immediate threat of deportation. And so the way this is going to look is we're going to prioritize people in those situations who are low income. And the funding will go towards the various legal and community nonprofit organizations to hire additional staff to serve people in this situation.
One of the things that I was intrigued by is that you're looking for some outreach help here too.
Yes. We think it's incredibly important that people simply know what's available to them and they know what their rights are. And if they know those things, then they'll be able to exercise more of their own agency and be empowered themselves. So while much of the funding will be going towards direct legal representation, some of the funding will be going more towards this community education and outreach piece.
In addition to having a case and getting help from somebody who knows law, I imagine you need a lot of documentation that's not always so easy to get in these cases. Is this one of the things you're trying to help with?
Yes, that is also a challenge. Even when one has a lawyer that's able to guide them through and say, for example, somebody might need a birth certificate from their country of origin, for example. Well, if that person's running away from the government over there, maybe the reason why they're here is that reason, that might be a challenge. And somewhere between the legal services providers and the community organizations, hopefully we'll be able to give people more guidance on how to go about finding those documents.
Another thing that's going to be coming up very soon is going to be a Citizenship Day in Boston. What's that going to involve?
Sure. So this is our 4th annual Citizenship Day. Mayor Walsh has celebrated Citizenship Day in Boston every single year, which is officially on September 17th, but we look for the closest Saturday. And so we'll be doing ours this year on September 23rd. So we do it every single year, and this year we're continuing to partner with Project Citizenship, our nonprofit partner, and the Goodwin Law Firm, which provides so many pro bono attorneys that day to help people actually who are eligible and pre-screened to fill out their application for naturalization that day. And then the organization, Project Citizenship, will then continue to help these people who were helped that day to compile their documents, send them in, approach their citizenship interviews, all the way to the swearing-in ceremony. And hopefully they help make that process a little bit more smooth, a little bit more understandable. And so right now, folks can just call Project Citizenship. Their phone number is 617-694-5949. Again, that's 694-5949. And Citizenship Day is next Saturday. And they can always go to our website, boston.gov/immigrants, and there'll be information.
And if they want to call the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Advancement, you've got a number too?
Yes, we're 617-635-2980.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Ann Lee from the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Advancement.